Do I?
No. Record on your computer and then you can send it to me afterwards then.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Is Tone there?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, brilliant. Can't see you. Did you switch that off?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you. So.
You will see. I'm just playing about. Let's have a look.
Okay.
How's that? Am I back in?
Brilliant. Yeah, sorted. Okay. So well, I just thought we'd open it up tonight as an opportunity because we've not had many attending. I had one the last time, so I just thought it might be a good opportunity for anyone to bring anything really, and just kind of explore that. For anyone else watching who doesn't know me, I joined Strive back in 2018. There's a bio on the website and on the forum if you want to read that. Basically, I'm a qualified counsellor, and I do some coaching on here, and I did do some in a school up until quite recently, but I've just given up that work, so I just do private counselling work now. So basically how I can help people on Strive would be basically offering anyone a space to talk about whatever they want, and often all someone needs, in my opinion, is that space really to be heard and accepted, and an opportunity to explore kind of what it is, what's bothering you really, and that could work through just talking, feeling accepted, and feeling that they can be as open as possible, and me being as genuine as I can, and not doing anything out of my capabilities really. So I use CBT work, like I say, just basic empathy. CBT work might be anything from doing things around negative thought patterns, exploring how our thoughts can drive our behaviours. So whether that be avoidance, overcompensating to having to over-explain things like I'm doing now, OCD-like behaviours, pacifying behaviours, which could include drinking, over-exercising, even doing nothing. Obviously, if you're happy to do any of them things, then cool. But if they're causing you a problem in your life, then it's maybe something you might want to focus on. So making links between today's behaviours and your past, that may be beneficial, but it may not be so much today. So behaviours from our childhood might have been beneficial back then, but they're not necessarily beneficial when we're a 40-year-old man. An example of that, I'd say, was something that I uncovered in personal counselling, which was my constant need to be liked and always feel like I needed to be doing something. So basically, we uncovered that when I was young and my dad tried to commit suicide, I went to live with him, and I always felt like I had to keep him happy or he'd try and kill himself again. So that feeling comes up in me subconsciously now. If the dishwasher needs emptying, it's not beneficial now as it was back then, because somebody was actually going to die. But the dishwasher not getting emptied doesn't warrant the level of anxiety I used to experience. So, and I think that's where Vinny's work can come in really, really handy. Excellent. because of releasing them trapped emotions, and I know that's something I'm definitely interested in after seeing Vinny and his work.
It's alcohol free, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought I'd let you know.
Did notice that. So I am open to other ways of working, and I've only been qualified like just over a year. So again, my work's kind of evolving all the time. So I just stick to what I know, and that's exploring whatever anybody brings together, really doing that together. So so I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything, or anybody's got anything they want to focus on.
John, just to let you know, I'm going to have to leave about 1:45 because I have to prepare for an interview I'm doing on the hour, so I'll just slope off then.
So that'd be 9:15 our time, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah.
If nobody wants to speak, and I think somebody should, so Maureen, you might have missed that intro for John, but basically if you've got something you want to work through with John, just start talking about it. If nobody has anything to talk about, then I guess I will just plunge one of my million problems that I have in my life onto John and be his guinea pig. But I would much prefer that Sue, Tony, or Maureen talk to him about something.
What sort of problems do you want to talk about, John? Because I'm not, I think most of my issues surround sort of like over drinking and overusing alcohol since I've been an adult and stuff. I don't feel that I've had any issues growing up.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be. I mean, that's not always massively important, is it, to know where it comes from, because that's not relevant today. So it's about what's happening in the moment for you in the here and now, I suppose, and focusing on that. It can be beneficial to create that self-awareness. Like I said, like the example of my dad trying to take his own life has had such a massive impact that creates anxiety in me it's not even similar experiences. It's just kind of that I feel I need to be doing something all the time. So that's beneficial for me for that awareness of that. But lots of people don't ever experience any trauma and stuff like that, fortunately, and they just have problems today. So yeah, fire away.
So your experience has kind of led to a mode of doing. I've got to be doing all the time. Like you were saying about the dishwasher, I'm the opposite. I'm unmotivated.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recognize the Freud's death drive kind of thing. That's me. I'm that damp squib. And I'm finding lately it's really difficult to get motivation to do most things. My exercising has gone down and
so when you say that motivation's gone down, does that go up and down, or is it just?
It's pretty much not very good as a rule. I mean, I can do things like academic stuff. I know it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. I can complete it. There was a time I couldn't finish things either, but I'm much better at finishing things now.
And what is it about the finishing things? Do you remember anything in particular? What drove you to stop, or do you know what I mean, or what drove you on to finish?
I think I was just getting on my own nerves, and at the end of the day, I was thinking I've just got to start being able to finish stuff. And I remember the feeling when I first did manage to finish a course. It felt good, so I've been able to carry on.
Yeah, so you've almost exposed yourself to the end product,
yes,
and then experience that. Would you say that there's any like perfectionistic kind of tendencies there, where you feel the need to do such a perfect job that it becomes frightening to get to the end, because if it's not perfect, then
that was me. Enough. I let that go when I was doing my diploma of counselling. Actually, I just got to the point where I'll just do enough then. It still holds in certain areas of my life, like my weight. It'll get to a point that I will not go over a certain thing. That's a hangover from teens, that is.
Okay.
But other things, my house is dusty. I don't care who sees it either. I've got dishes waiting to be done. They're done every day, but I've done my dishes today, so they'll be done tomorrow.
Is that a problem for you? Are you quite comfortable with that?
Yeah. I'm happier being less perfectionist than I've ever been. Yeah. When I was a perfectionist.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily something you want to change, or is it not necessarily something you think of as being a problem?
No, it's the motivation with me. Is that, and I read somewhere the other day, it's not about motivation, it's about inspiration. So I don't know what you feel about that. And I can't remember who said it.
There's lots of things out there and lots of inspirational quotes everywhere now, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But they need to be inspired as opposed to being motivated.
Yeah, and I suppose it's what you want to change, though, isn't it? So if you feel like you want to be somebody who cleans your house more, then then that's something you might look at changing. But if you're actually quite comfortable with not being bothered about it, then it's not a problem, is it? So if you think of something that you want to be motivated to do,
it's about all sorts of kind of stuff. I put off little things. Like I've got to go and pick up a grab rail for work tomorrow, and I just put things off.
Okay.
You know, and if I go to the gym, it'll only be tomorrow now I'll have gone, because I came home and had a nap instead on Wednesday, because I knew I had the same amount of time. I had enough time. Because I am tired a lot of the time.
Yeah. Okay. So and what do you put that? Because there are practical steps you can put in place, aren't they, to not be tired? And I don't know what your lifestyle's like around that. So what kinds of things you can look at to not be tired, or how's your lifestyle? Because that doesn't help with that procrastination, does it? Because then you can't be bothered to do something.
No, exactly.
So what sorts of thoughts are going through your mind when you're putting something off? What are you thinking?
I just can't be bothered. You know, I'll do it when I absolutely have to do it. And I organise my days so that there is momentum. So that I go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. So there isn't a spare 5 minutes. Because I know that if the inertia will set in once I stop. Yeah.
How do you maintain that then? Because I'm interested. I'm the biggest procrastinator and lazy whatever arse you could think of, and I think it's a habit that I've had since drinking so much, and drinking stopped you achieving things. It's a very good excuse for not doing anything, and then you've got no energy to do anything. And over a period of 20-30 years of really not achieving as much as what you could do, not achieving your optimum, I think you get into a real habit of not doing things. It's easy to put things off. So how do you keep this momentum going?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking Susan.
Oh, asking me?
Yeah, you said you get this momentum going by having task after task after task, and you get that momentum doing it that way.
Yes, that's the only way I can. I tend to. I'll get to the gym if I know that I've got just enough time to get from work down there for a class, and then I'll have just enough time for a shower and quick bite to eat before I get back to work, because I'm on a roll, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing there. So the things that you are putting off, does it make you feel down when you're not doing them?
I guess on my nerves that I'm lethargic. I'm lazy as well. I know I'm lazy. You know.
Yeah. But that's the thing, isn't it? If you're comfortable with certain things being a certain way, then that's not really a problem. The problem is the feeling down part. So it's what's going through your mind. It sounds like you're getting down because you feel you need to do them things. For what? Do you need to do them things for yourself, or are you getting down because you're not doing them for other people? Do you know
I feel like I'm wasting my life, really, a lot of the time.
Okay. So would you say that a negative thought for you there would be, if I don't do my chores, then I'm wasting my life?
No, not so much doing my chores, but not having enough energy, vitality to fill my day, really.
Okay.
Having to have a nap, when I could have been doing my notes. I got a pile of stuff to do later now, or tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. So again there, what you said there was not having enough energy and vitality to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And when I said earlier about like practical steps you can put in place there, isn't there, to change that part of your lifestyle? So I'm just wondering what your lifestyle looks like in way of getting that kind of, giving yourself that self-care, maybe doing some exercise. Are we eating the right food? Do you know what I mean? So sorts of things like that. I mean, you know yourself if you're drinking too much or if you're eating the wrong things, don't you? So we all know that.
Yeah. I know obviously it's worse when you're drinking, but when I've had the long stints along for me, off. Mornings were better, obviously, but my sleep took a while to improve, but then it was quite good. But I never felt that energized, which is one of the reasons why I kind of got a bit fed up, I guess, and I had the Sodits then. Yeah.
Yeah, and were you doing anything else though at the time? So you've stopped drinking. Were you filling that white space with anything? Were you doing more exercise? Were you filling that space and building up that vitality and energy in any other ways?
Well, my long stint was when I was coming to the end of my masters, so I was there. I had no time spare at all, really. And the last time was from Easter Sunday, and I did the full block of 5 weeks. I don't have white space unless I'm asleep. I'm either trying to sleep, asleep, or having to nap, or I'm busy. I don't. Even if I'm reading, I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm never bored.
Yeah.
Can I just say something on the concept of white space, John? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So just when I thought of the concept of white space originally, Tom, can you put yourself on mute a little bit?
There you go. I've done it.
So, when I first originally thought of white space, it was aligned with meaning and purpose, and it was because I'd stopped drinking, and straight after I stopped drinking, I had this realization that I'd done something so powerful that nobody I knew had done it. Like, I looked around the valley and I didn't know anybody who stopped drinking alcohol, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm super powerful." And then I quit reading a book, right? So then I picked Jack Canfield's book up because I want to read another book. I'm thinking, what else can I change? If Alan Carr can really help me quit alcohol, just reading a book, like, what else can I change? So I picked Jack Canfield's book up, and he's like, quit your job, basically. And I know you've heard this before, right? So I quit my job. And now, because I quit my job, now I have what I defined as white space, in as much as I had the opportunity to start my life from scratch, right? Not tweak my life from scratch. I had no job. For the first time since I left school, I didn't have a job, right? So white space to me became, whoa, before I get another 19-year career, which I'm going to hate and start fucking crying every day, let's find something that I'm really going to fucking love, which is where I fell into learning about meaning and purpose, right? Now, because once I then start to wrap my head around meaning and purpose, I can then say to myself, right, my meaning and purpose is serving people. So if I'm not serving people, then that's not my white space. I'm not filling my white space. My white space needs to be filled by serving people, right? Which is where the concept of Muda came in and all that kind of stuff. But then after working with strivers and talking about white space, it became apparent that people weren't talking about white space in that respect. They were more talking about it in terms of general terms of how I fill my time.
Yeah.
Now the problem with that is we all know that being busy doesn't equate to being effective. And we all know that being busy doesn't equate to being happy. Because here's Sue saying, I'm really, really busy, but I'm not happy. So maybe the reason, like, my house would be a mess if I had an house, because I wouldn't clean it, because I don't want to fucking clean it, because I don't fucking like cleaning, right? I posted the other day and said, can someone help me with running? Why have I got a problem with running? I don't fucking like running. Now, there's a poker player called Sophia Lovegren I interviewed the other day. She loves running. Not a little bit. She doesn't do it because she has to. She loves running. All of her inspiration, her thoughts, everything comes from running. She loves it, so that's what she does. I don't like it, right? And I would argue, and I'm going on very kind of tentative ground here, that people don't finish the intensive or the taster because they don't want to stop drinking alcohol. They might think they do, but they don't really want to. They're forced to do it. If they could drink alcohol and not have all the shit that comes with it, they'd fucking drink it because it makes life easier, right? So the question, I guess, and I'll shut up and leave you back onto John, is, are you filling your time with things that provide you with meaning and purpose? Because if they did, surely you would be energized, and surely you would look forward to doing them, and you wouldn't want to put it off. So a good point is, Corinne McGowan was the first person I ever helped quit alcohol, right? And there's a story I tell about her going to watch Michael Bublé while we were doing our talk, and she relapsed, and she smashed all her face in, and she missed a gig. And then 6 months down the line, when I'd helped her quit, she went and watched him again sober, right? There's no fucking way she was going to miss that Michael Bublé concert. She wasn't going to put it off. She wasn't going to say, I don't want to go, because she loved Michael Bublé and she loved doing that thing. But going to get a guardrail on the way to work, who wants to do that? Like, who wants to do the hard work to get a diploma? Who wants to do that? Who wants to listen to Lee waffle on in an intensive and quit drinking? Who wants to fucking do that, right? So have a think about that, and I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I was saying earlier was the not doing the cleaning and the not being motivated to do that cleaning is not the problem, is it? It's the fact that you feel down, and so why do you feel down? Do you know what I mean? The actual act of what you're not doing is not really the problem, because it's up to you if you do or don't do it. If it's making you feel down because you're not doing it, then what is it? What makes you feel down? Is it that you think that you should want to do it? Like Lee with his running, because other people enjoy running. He doesn't think, well, what's wrong with me? I'm defective because I hate running. He just hates running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of shaking off and exploring around kind of what makes you feel down, and even looking at ways of developing that self-awareness around things that actually I'm actually quite happy with that side of myself, but this side of myself I actually won't mind changing. Yeah, and you have that choice, don't you, which parts you want to change and which parts you're not actually that asked about.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to tell where. Obviously there's a psychological element, but it's sort of insidious, it's pervasive, it sort of drags me physically down. So there's some sort of stuckness mentally that's infiltrating everything.
Yeah. So
as opposed maybe the other way.
So you feel down because you're not at you're not reaching your potential to some degree. There's something that you feel you could be better at.
Just more full of life. Just vital. That's all I. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I think, like I said earlier, that is there anything that you've changed apart from, obviously you've tried stopping drinking alcohol, which you realise is something that doesn't help with your emotional and mental well-being. But is there anything else what you've done to try and step outside of that kind of spiral of kind of almost depressive thoughts, really?
Well, I upped my antidepressants on Saturday.
You did what?
I upped my antidepressants on Saturday.
Okay.
Because I'd had a drink, I'd made the promise and had a drink on Friday. So when I got up on Saturday, I was like, right, I'm doing something about my head. So then the one day this week I actually got up before my alarm, which never ever ever happened. So I think they might have they've started maybe having a positive something. But
so what sorts of things make you feel or have made you feel better in the past?
Spending time with my daughter always is fab, but she's just gone back to uni.
Okay.
So, although I'm going to see her in a couple of weeks because it's her birthday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what else? If that's not something that you can do all the time, is there anything else that you could bring in there?
I've realised music. I don't use that enough. Loud music that I like can really. That's the only thing I think that can actually pick me up a bit. I think at the moment when I don't see my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Is there anything socially what you enjoy doing, or?
when my friends can get together, we always go out for a meal, and they're not drinkers, so it's never a problem. We'll all, we'll just eat. Yes, well, it's fitness classes or yoga, but I know I won't go to yoga tomorrow because I can have a lay-in. So there won't be anywhere else I need to be before I get to spin. But I got the choice of going to yoga at 10 before it. But it's my only lay-in tomorrow, so I probably have a lay-in.
Okay. So when you were saying earlier about the not cleaning and this, that, and the other, and then you said, well, actually, I'm really busy. It's almost like, well, it seems a little bit kind of like, why would that get you down if actually you're a very busy person?
Yeah. I'm busy, but I'd like to be maybe more productive, more, I don't know, feel like I've got more choice to do things and not feel like I got to just drag my butt back into bed.
So you always feel like you have to be doing something, kind of. You should be, but you don't do certain things.
I love sitting and reading. I'll read, and that's fun to me. I'll just I'll read and read and read. I really enjoy that. But if it means I've got to just anything active, I've got to get up and do.
Okay. Lee, did you want to say something about? Sorry, there you go.
Yeah. I was thinking that maybe John, Susan could help her to do like a pleasure predicting sheet for a week or two.
Yeah, it's difficult in this format, isn't it? Because normally I would have like my toolbox of sheets and stuff what we could roll out, but I'd like to do that with Susan on like 1-to-1 if you want, and I can send her some work to do that.
Yeah, I think because if you send her a pleasure prediction sheet, a couple of things will come out of that. I guess is one will be does Sue even have a plan? Like is she because generally when I hear people talk about like, oh, I need to get more oomph in my life, it's usually the people who are just winging it like on a daily basis. So first of all, are we having a plan? Are we doing a plan? How efficient are we of filling that day up? Right. So the sheet will tell us that. And what I mean by being efficient, filling it up, is you'll notice that I got into a debate with Glynis and Lisa on Strive recently because they're doing the freedom module. And they were basically posting and saying, fucking hell, Lee, like, you want me to fill up every single moment of my life doing meaning and purpose? I won't have a life. And then I was trying to explain, well, no. And I showed them my calendar, and my calendar has more time in it with my family and with me just not doing shit because I need to recover, or reading or watching shows than my meaning and purpose. So I think if we do the pleasure predicting sheet, we'll be able to see if it's a plan or not, John. We'll be able to see how much time she's given herself for recovery, as opposed to how much time she's trying to, like, if she's sleeping 2 hours a night and she's going to fucking spin class in yoga, and then the only other time she's filling the time is she's going to a job she hates. And
I don't hate my job.
I'm making this up, but
all right.
You don't need to be a genius then to work out, hang on a minute, this is going to lead down the road to depression, right? But I think sometimes we do things that we don't even know we don't like. I'll use you a stupid example. I used to watch The Walking Dead. It wasn't until I got to like season 152 and I was doing this pleasure prediction sheet that I said, I'm going to enjoy this 7 out of 10. I'm going to be on my own watching The Walking Dead 7 out of 10. And then I watched it and I filled it in and I was like, that was shit. That was a 3 out of 10. And I made the decision to never watch that again. And then you just keep going until your perceptions of how you're going to enjoy something is either outstripped by what you're doing or is equal, or you stop doing it. So we can slowly get rid of the things that you don't like and grow awareness of them and start filling them with things that you do like. It's all about raising awareness about what we're actually doing. Because I'm no expert, Sue, but what you're talking about does sound like the beginnings of a depression. It's like, you know, it's the depression that that is leading to the lethargy. It's, you know, it's like, that's how it sounds. You know, my sister is very much like that. She takes antidepressant pills, and she never wants to do anything. You know, like, she just can't get the spunk to get out of bed. You know,
I've got an enduring depression. It's been very, very mild for a long time. You know, but maybe that's gone up another level. I don't know.
I can relate to that, because I'm pretty much the same, and I think most people in my family are. So I'm pretty sure it may be a genetic component. I can get really down. Like, I can have days where, like, I just don't want. I just can't be asked doing anything. I had one like this week. I didn't do anything on my plan. But it's getting more and more unusual the more and more I'm filling my life with stuff that's providing me with meaning and joy. And most importantly, the work that I'm doing on my relationship, because my relationship is sound, my key relationship with Liza, right? Because my key relationship with Liza is getting better and better, that is helping me improve my life immeasurably in other areas as well.
Yeah.
Did I just lose everybody then?
You're frozen.
Did I lose everybody?
No, Susan, I think that's important, that what Lee was saying there about having a plan, and I think having a look at your time as well, like Lee's calendar when he showed that inspired me to do mine, and I must say I feel a lot more relaxed in my relaxing time, because I know that everything has got its place.
Right, yeah.
I've always said I'm someone who works better with a structure, but I didn't actually have a very good structure at all, which seemed a bit like conflicting. So now I've put that structure in place. I know that if I'm going to relax, I can relax without thinking, shit, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, because I know it's all a work in progress, and I'm not like some Zen master who can just zone out and feel brilliant. You know what I mean? But again, I'm working on that, because I know that's a problem, really. And I think
I need structure as well. I get unwell really if I don't have. I got to know I need to be somewhere at some time, at least a few days a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, even my weekends, I've got some kind of clue. You know how they can look like. But what Lee said about his key relationship, I think that's probably a biggie for me, because I'm still trying to negotiate my way around. I mean, we've been together 6 years in January, but that I think that drains me. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so your relationship with your partner drains you?
Yeah.
Okay. In what way, if you don't mind me asking?
He's very, bless him, he's not here to defend himself, egocentric. So it's all about Chris, bless him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what part of that is difficult for you?
I'm a listener. So I do all the listening and the bigging up, or wow, that was brilliant, but I don't get a lot of that back. He does a lot of practical stuff for me, you know.
Yeah.
But you having that, you know, that empathy then is lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not getting your needs met at home. You're not getting connection, really.
It's connection, yeah. Yeah. I have banged on about that to him, and he's tried and he's trying, but when it's unnatural, it's really hard to make that work, I guess, to have that connection.
Yeah. And that is, go on.
Sorry, this dynamic really reminds me of me and Liza. So I've been in Chris's role, where Liza's explained to me that my existence in her life is just completely and utterly draining for her. And so, like, that could be one of the reasons why you can't get out of bed. It might not be a lack of sleep or anything. It might be that because you're an empath, he's like just completely draining you. And the only way that will change is if he understands that that's what he's doing, and that would be so difficult for him as a bloke. Like, especially as just a bloke. I'm being very stereotypical here and saying it's a lad from the valleys like that. But my experience, I grew up in the valleys all my life. And if I was to have this conversation with any of my friends about draining and energy, they would think I was fucking wacko. So, this is really difficult because it means that there needs to be some boundaries set and some, he needs to understand that you're looking after himself, and if he doesn't come on board, then there's going to be some consequences. But it's real tough terrain.
Yeah, we keep having this conversation, and he really tries for a while, but it's still not. And that's irritating in itself. That he's got to try. You know what I mean? But then it goes back to normal. Yeah.
And again, it sounds like that he finds that really difficult when you say he's got to try. Some people just aren't very good at that aspect. I'm probably not the best myself, but it's unfortunately it's a characteristic what's quite common, I think, in some relationships. But it's obviously some. It's about that just doing your best and compromise, isn't it, really, with your partner and having a more respect, I suppose. But it's quite difficult to deal with if you don't have any kind of maybe marriage counselling or mediation and that kind of thing, really.
Well, that pleasure prediction sheet, John, as well, like that will include time with Chris, won't it? So it'll be, I'm going to spend time with Chris between 7 and 9 on Tuesday night. I believe I'm going to enjoy my time with him 8 out of 10. And then you do, and you rate it, and it's a 6, and it's lower. So now you have to write why that's lower. And then if that keeps happening, I don't want to like, compare our partners with TV and yoga and whatever. But it will highlight, holy shit, like I'm not getting the value that I want out of my relationship. And then you can, right, this is where I need to focus. I need to put all my eggs in this basket type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'll have a go at that. I really think that'll be a useful tool. I've not heard of the pleasure predictor.
Yeah, Lee, is that something that's in the pack? What we were sent? Do you know the
I don't
FGI
know. But
pack?
I don't know, but we can make it up. If you send me a reminder after this, John, because I'm going to shoot off in 8 minutes. Yeah. I'll get Emma to knock one together.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the pleasure predictor.
Did I send one to you, Tom?
Yeah, I did. I have got one. I'm not sure if you sent me one or whether Craig sent me one, but I have got one.
Okay.
Is it just for things that you would like to do, i.e., pleasurable activities, or is it just for washing up?
It's everything. So it's like, I even had a shower, like, and I would rate a shower 6 out of 10, and then I'd have a shower and I'd rate it 10 out of 10, and then the most important part is the introspection afterwards. So then I would say to myself, hang on a minute, if I'm rating a shower 10 out of 10, why am I only having a shower every other day? Why aren't I having 10 showers a day?
Because you're on a water meter. I don't know.
No, well, if that would have been the case if I was living with my dad back in the day when everything was on a meter. No, the reason was, Tone, I was rushing. A shower to me was something that was getting in the way of doing something else that was more important. But when I weighed it up, that other thing that I was running towards getting was less valuable and important to me than a shower. So then I was like, I'm going to have more showers because I really enjoy it, and I'm going to chill out. I'm going to be more mindful. I'm going to let the warm water go over me. And I now understand it now when people are in showers for like 10, 15 minutes. But so, yeah, it's everything. And then it could be washing. I washed the dishes today. The perceived value was 5 and the actual value was 2. Well, I'm not doing dishes anymore. I'm going to put a rota together for the kids. I'm going to hire a cleaner. I'm going to get my husband to do it, and I'm going to do something else. I'm going to buy a dishwasher, whatever, or a robot, I don't know. But the purpose is, are we really getting the value out of what we're doing? From meditation to reading to what we watch on TV to sex, rate your sex. Like, No, because
not now. Not now.
Like how many of us are having spontaneous sex? We're not, are we? We're organizing it like we organize our yoga, right? So, it's like, I'm going to have sex. I think it's going to be great. And then you realize it's not. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing wrong? It's just being inquisitive. Because without that inquisitiveness and without a structure, you can't pinpoint what's wrong. And straight off when Sue started talking, I sent a note to John privately on the chat here and said, get her to narrow it down to one thing, because it's too big. Alcoholism, too big. Like, do you remember the 3-part resistance trainer I did with David Burns? On his Feeling Good podcast. I said to him originally, you need Liza on there, surely not me, because I'm perfect. Like, Liza's the one who's got all the problems in the relationship. Like, what am I coming on there for? Dave's like, no, I think you should come on. And then I was like, well, surely we both have to come on because it's a relationship issue. And Dave's like, no, we'll just need you. Well, I'll be talking for months because there's so many things going wrong in my marriage. And Dave went, no, just give me one thing. And if you remember, all it was I was trying to put Zia's pajamas on. She wouldn't let me put them on. And I raised my voice and said, Zia, I'm telling you now, put your pajamas on. And Liza said to me, I don't think you should be raising your voice at little girl. And through that one thing, he got me to see that I had a real issue around what it means to be a man. Many of the things that are going on with Chris, that I was, to steal from Stephen Covey, I was personality ethic orientated and not character ethic. And to steal from Carol Dweck, I was more fixed mindset orientated and growth mindset. I was more ego than I was more me than you. Like, he got me to see all that through one thing. So if Sue could do the personality predictor, work with John a little bit on her own, maybe grab the next slot for yourself or whatever, and then we can really narrow down onto one specific thing. And it may be that we need to get a relationship expert in to help you, Sue. It may be that it's linked to trauma, and then we get Vinny. We just got Lisa on board as well. It might be a straightforward CBT thing that John can crack on and get done with you. But at the moment, it's too big. Like, help me with my depression and my tiredness. Too big.
Yeah.
I
think the relationship thing, like you were saying then, it can be where sometimes we are actually feeding that in the other person. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You actually behave in a way that proves to you that they are so bad at certain things, when really we're actually allowing them to be more like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you even using the 5 secrets of effective communication can be so helpful, because like Lee said there, one of the big things for him was not seeing any truth in what Liza was saying, when really there's always some truth. That's the empathy part of it, isn't it? Because to them, it is true what they're saying to some extent.
Yeah.
I think some work. Did you do any of that? Have you listened to any of them podcasts on the 5 secrets?
Yeah, and I've read the 2 books, Feeling Good Together and the other one. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Did you put
Yeah.
any of it into practice?
I try, but then put it like this. When I was first with Chris, I thought I was very mindful and we got on very well, but I wasn't being assertive for me. It was all about, I didn't have a problem at all then, because, well, we lived in the pub Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. But I just took it all in my stride, because I was all giving. I wasn't.
So you were allowing yourself, you were allowing yourself to be walked over and then resenting it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what he knows. That's how the relationship works, and then you're resenting the fact that he's been like that when actually you've allowed, because you've not been assertive. And that's something you can practice, isn't it?
Oh, well, for a long time now, I'm completely me, and he really tries, but it's almost as though he can't. But I'm even thinking of doing that Martino, Stacey and Paul's course. I don't want to spend the money, but I'm that desperate. I'm thinking, and they only work with one person, don't they? It only needs to be the one.
I'm not aware of that. Is that what is that?
Oh, have you Stacey and Paul Martino? They were on, you know, Annie Grace Naked Mind.
Oh yeah.
She had one of these webinar things where she introduced Stacey one day, and yeah, they work with one person, and they reckon they got a 1% divorce rate because it turns whole relationships around.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
It'll be miraculous.
What that you don't get divorced?
Well, we're not even married, yeah, but it'd be miraculous
right.
if me doing all this changing will have any impact on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd be happy to do that, like 1-to-1, and obviously it doesn't have to be recorded or anything like that. We can do a session next week and for the next few weeks if you want. That's absolutely fine.
Fabulous, thank you very much.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be good, and I think that format works better. Really, then we could be a bit more open, and we can do. I'll send you across some paperwork and stuff. So can you PM me your email address, and I'll send you the stuff across.
Yeah, on Strive, just find you yourself.
Just a personal message. Yeah. So if you just click on my picture or on any of the posts I've done, it'll say message, and just click that, and then you can send me your email address on there. Okay.
Brilliant, thank you.
Is anybody? There's some people here I've not met before actually. I've not really met Holly actually, and we've seen each other, haven't we?
Yeah. Hi, John.
You okay?
I'm good. Real
Excellent.
good. It's morning time here.
Okay. What's the weather like? It looks nice coming through the window.
Yeah, it's sunny, and I'm just waiting for Michael to get here so we can go down to the beach.
Oh, lovely.
I already went and checked out the waves, and maybe the wind's going to stay down enough. We'll see.
Oh, brilliant.
We took a day off yesterday, so I really needed the rest. My body was tired.
Yeah.
I watched 2 movies, and I was lazy. I have a place I'm staying with air conditioning, so I just laid here like a lump.
Yeah. And you were happy to do that? Not a problem.
Yeah. No problem with that. But I was just listening to Sue, and I think her significant other's name is Chris. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like a relationship with Michael.
Oh, okay.
We'll have a little chat, Sue.
Okay.
I was looking into that Stacey Martino thing too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a note of that.
And we're going to counseling every other Monday, so that seems to be helping a lot. We've only gone twice.
Okay.
But we really needed to do that for our communication. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good to meet you, and Tone. I haven't really met you either.
No, I've seen you on the forums, and we've exchanged the odd message and reply, etc.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice to hear you.
Yeah.
We don't get the opportunity to do this where we get to actually talk to each other. There's normally a main focus, and I thought that tonight, although it's nice to focus on something and someone, it's also nice just to have a bit of a chat and get to know each other a bit better. And again, we all offer our experience as well, can't we?
Yeah. And I think Maureen's here too, and I've been talking to her on the phone, but I haven't actually ever done a video with her. So hi, Maureen.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Yeah. So I understand you were on before, were you? A couple of years ago, and then come back. Is that right?
Well, I guess it wasn't 2. I had it wrong. It was a year and 4 months.
Okay.
It feels like forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long time gone. A lot of resistance and being stuck in the back and forth. A lot of day ones, maybe all of them.
Yeah.
Tried a couple things. A few months back, I did like 2 AA meetings. just to have the one-on-one contact and less isolation. And it's hard to find the perfect combination of tools.
Okay.
And I get amnesia. I start feeling really, really good. And then it's like literally, I don't know, it's just mind blowing.
So you forget how bad it was when you were drinking. And,
completely.
Yeah. I used to get like that, but by Wednesday, Thursday, it was like, that wasn't the problem. I feel great. Yeah. I'm ready to go again. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know. And I've had enough of that because I'm realizing, well, I just kept thinking I could do it alone. If it's my issue and I created it, then I'll fix it alone.
Yeah.
There's no need to, get support or any of those things. And I just kept fighting with myself, I think, for the last year, going, I don't want to do this sober talk shit every day. I don't want to go to meetings. I don't want to journal. I'm sick of talking about it. Think about it. Fine. Then you get okay, well, I'll just moderate. I'll just do it a little bit instead of a lot. I'll just really rein it in. And then I'll think that, and then I'll be like, this is out of control. Now I need, support because there's so much isolation.
Yeah.
Now I've come to terms that it's going to be work either way, and that I'd better get over it.
Yeah. So what's your plan then, Maureen? What's your plan from here on in?
Well, you're looking at a better part of it. Just trying to get involved and doing the taster.
Okay.
So
doing the taster.
I want to start. Yeah, I'm going to start with the taster, and then we'll see about going to the intensive or what. Yeah. Just trying to reach out and not really isolate.
Yeah. So what aspects of your situation do you struggle with then or is it kind of friends, family, or is it just personal?
No. It's not friends or family. It's not the bar scene. It's none of that anymore. I would say I have 2 ADHD boys. They're 11 years apart. Yeah. This time I've been here will be my only time to myself today. And after a while, I'll either forget or the stress of not having any alone time and burning myself out with sobriety. It's like I have to multitask. I'm taking a shower. Then I have to have Braxton pulled up on the phone. Like I have him pulled up right now because he's napping. And then I have to listen to a podcast while I'm in the shower. Because I have to do all these things so that I don't forget. But I can drive myself a little bit crazy feeling like I'm always fitting something like that in. There's no time to just sit. But the time that people will leave me alone is if I want to go have a glass of wine. This is going to sound really weird. But I think it's actually a positive thing. So I'll separate myself and go in the garage, smoke a clove cigar. And guess what? People don't bother me as much. And I still haven't pulled up on the monitor. But if I try to meditate or sneak away or journal, the boys have a very hard time. Everybody follows me around. And my partner, I can still hear them all upstairs if I try to do that. So there's really just a lack of time to myself, and I'm a stay-at-home mom as well. So there's a lot of things to do around here. And I think after a while, it starts to drive me nuts.
So you're not allowing yourself to have time away, to give yourself that space.
I'm trying to allow myself to.
And what's stopping you from?
I think that if my partner was better with the 4-year-old, more attentive, more gentle and kind, and they didn't feel like I had to ever intervene, because he acts like a child with the child. We get along great. He knows it's true. But then, you have a screaming kid upstairs. So then generally I'm needed, which I'm sick of, because they need to kind of duke it out and figure out their way. of working together. But that's really hard. That causes stress because then I'm not sure, you know, it's just constantly pointing him in the direction of parenting forums or a book, or reminding him that this is a 4-year-old, reminding him that raising his voice and behaving like a child himself literally will just make it worse. And he knows it's true. It just feels so good. When somebody's defiant, it just feels so good for him to just do the exact thing he doesn't want to do. So then I hear it from downstairs. There's no meditating when that's going on. There's no meditating when you have children to put to bed. Like, so I think part of it is that it's easier. I could juggle different things and I could still, you know, have a glass of wine, which of course, you know, turns into a bottle and a half, but that's not till after they go to bed. So I think it's because it's it's the one thing that I can still juggle these things, but then I'm completely, you know, I finally get myself burnt out. Then I press reset. Then I'll get sober for a week. And then, you know, after a while, the pressure mounts of not feeling like I have time for me.
So it sounds like you're actually doing everything because you don't trust your partner to deal with some of them things.
Yeah, well, that is part of it. It's not just trust. He doesn't really want to. So I feel that pressure. I know he's not interested. I have to ask him, could you guys, I started delegating. It's ridiculous. I don't want to delegate. But if I'm making dinner or something, I'll go, hey, could you, why don't, you know, could you guys play with, like, I literally have to say, could you guys play with something in front of Braxton? Otherwise I'm spelling it and he's starting to catch on to that. So then it looks like I'm undermining because the child hears that I have to ask the other parent to spend time with him. He hears that, you know, and so, and then sometimes it'll be met with kind of almost like an eye roll, like kind of like where I can kind of feel the vibe, like, ugh, do I really have to play with my own son? And it's like, yeah, you really do, unless you want to make dinner, because I cannot do all these things. I mean, sometimes I'll bring him with to do dinner. I'll try to do so many things to avoid that eye roll or that feeling of frustration, because I know my partner would rather just go to his office and get some work done. And I wish he could. I mean, he works all day in it, but maybe work for himself. He wants to do some, you know, just some time to himself besides his work day. I would like him to, you know, have that, but we have a little one, so it's like we try to juggle it.
Yeah.
And we don't fight it. We don't even fight about this or blame each other for anything. It's just that, I don't know, I think I am maybe, it's like constantly trying to keep the peace and take care of everybody, and there is no more time or room left.
Yeah.
It would have to flip completely a different way.
And similar to what I said to Susan earlier, was almost like, it sounds like to some degree you're almost feeding that to some extent by being willing to take on all of the chores and all of the tasks and all of the kid time. And
well, not all of it. He'll throw a load of laundry. I mean, he does lots of stuff too, but yeah, of course I am, because that is my role that I'm doing right now. And I make everybody breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's okay. It's to make sure the child, it's to have, that's not on him. Like, it's not a fault thing. I don't think on either other part. I think it's a situational thing. I mean, the house is only so big, even though we have 2 floors. And it's just one of those things that I have to learn the tools to relax, even if it's super loud, or to put headphones on and trust that even though they're going to fight upstairs, and that when I come out, my son's going to be sobbing, and, you know, and Blaine's going to be very angry, agitated. Like, I have to accept that that's how it will go. And that's really hard when I can prevent that. Like, that's really hard, because I'll always I will pick them first. I just will, because the peace in the house is so important. So then I know that I need to find a way to kind of balance it. It's just when you haven't done that in so long, done things for yourself, it's just really, 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 really hard. Yeah,
it's almost changing that cycle into it and finding a new routine and being comfortable with a new routine.
Yeah, and who knows what's appropriate to ask of somebody else. I mean, people live all different ways. And when you're a stay-at-home mom and you've done this, the lines are blurred of what's appropriate.
Yeah.
To ask of someone, what, like, you know, how much time. So I'll do the minimum. I'll ask the minimum because I know he doesn't want to do it. You know, but then I feel like I'm dealing with a teenager almost. When I say that, it sounds almost like the teenager. But I don't want to treat my partner like a child, but he's kind of acting like a child more than a dad because he doesn't really have those skills. You know, and I don't want the role of having to line things up, telling everybody, okay, you're going to play with you, I'm going to make dinner. And that's how it is around here. Like, if I don't do that, Bryson would just be on the iPad if we're up playing. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't do that stuff, then everybody will be on their own devices in their own space. And I don't think that's a family or healthy. I think that's okay for a bit of time. And when we're first getting sober, like, okay, yeah, for sure. But I don't think it should remain that way. So those are the kind of stressors I think that, that right now, it could be anything. If you asked me 10 years ago, it wouldn't be this. So, I mean, this isn't just that. That's the way my brain...
Yeah. There's always something. There's always something for you to stress about.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to say, so us blokes are pretty stupid, really. We're not very intuitive. We don't pick things up automatically. You know, we have to be told. We're not going to guess what's on your mind because we don't have. Well, I certainly don't, and I don't know about you, John, but I need to be told what to do. And if I can't sometimes second guess what my partner wants all the time, I need to be really told. And if I'm told, I'll do it. You know, it's a bit like 1 + 1 = 2. Very logical. So, have you, Maureen? Have you told your partner, husband, exactly what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's what you said earlier when you get like the eye roll or the teenager kind of response. That's just part of the game, really, isn't it? It's like once you get comfortable with that, that's just part of it, and it is what it is. Maybe that's his way of dealing with what's being said. Do you know what I mean?
He doesn't want to be told what to do, but he's not stepping up. So I'm like, what do you want me to do? You know, so I just asked him, what do you want me to do? We know you don't like to be told what to do by anyone, ever. And you could suggest something and he still might be like, he doesn't argue. He's a lot quieter, more introverted than me, but it's just that feeling, I can just tell. So I'm like, okay, if that makes you feel like weird or demasculate, or I don't know how you're feeling, but then do you want to just come up with your own plan with Bryce? He'll be like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, because I got like a vibe that you're agitated. Like, it was really obvious. No. And I'm like, okay, so you just don't really want to do this, but you're scared to say out loud, I'm not fucking interested. That's the truth. And I know, because I'll say to him, you're not interested, are you? Don't feel badly. He's 4. Sometimes it sucks. But I go, guess what? We still have to do it. Yeah, we still have to do it. And I said, and you'll get into it. And they will have fun now and then once he's forced to play. And I go, do you guys, you know, I basically feel like I have to come up with suggestions and friggin' baby people half the time because everybody's got like an attitude. And so I'll be like, do you guys want to go to the store? Maybe you want to buy a new Lego set. And he'll be like, yeah. Then he'll get excited. Like he's the kid. And I'm like, then do it. Then go get excited. Go play. And I'll make dinner or whatever. But I just get sick of that responsibility of even coming up with all the ideas so that people are happy. So it just seems easier to drink in the moment, not the next day and the day after that and the year after that, but in the moment, it just seems easier because nothing's as stressful or as pertinent.
Yeah. So you were saying
nothing matters.
Yeah. It gives you that release and what you're looking for, that time for yourself. But when you were saying then that I'm happy to do this because it's the easiest way just to delegate and tell everybody what to do, but you're not happy with it because it sounds like there's some resentment there. It's the easiest thing to do. So your values are that you would like everything organised. So with having them values and them beliefs, is with that, unfortunately, comes a lot more stress, anxiety, and and the fact that everybody else doesn't have them same beliefs and values, you're almost like butting heads all the time to some degree.
I don't know that I like things super organized or anything like that, because we'd probably argue if we're pretty much the same with how clean the house needs to be or not be. We're pretty mellow about it, and we pretty much assume our roles. It's the when you are there for a child all the time, and you have the father there that you know matters so much, the words matter and things like that. Those two argue, like, I just can't imagine arguing with 4-year-old, and that really stresses me out. And so I guess that I know that if I'm there, and the 4-year-old doesn't want it either. He comes to me for everything, and the dad doesn't want it. So what's the natural thing? So there's a lot of work involved on my part with that, and I guess I get sick of it, you know? So, you know, that's just one of the things, and I don't even know how much that these things matter so much as, why the fuck do I need to numb these feelings that normal people have that they deal with? And I just need to get used to sitting in bad feelings, sitting in all sorts of different feelings, you know?
Dealing with them, experiencing them, not numbing them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even to the degree of, I mean, I used to do this a lot. I when I first stopped drinking, I would eat more crap. Wouldn't have the same effect as alcohol, but to some degree it did. And then running was my thing, and it's still my thing. I like to go for a run, but I know that I can't just keep running away, literally running away from my problems. It's so now I've started again, like you say, it's maybe looking for somewhere where you can give yourself space and get out one night a week or something by yourself to do something for you. That sounds important, because when you're trying to relax at home, there's too much going on, and just to get away and give yourself something. It's that self-care, isn't it? Always feel similar to Suzanne, like you feel you always need to be productive, but in being productive, are you really being efficient and effective, or as effective as you could be? Probably not. If you give yourself that space and time just to really unwind, chill out, whether that be going to some kind of class, meeting friends for a coffee, do you know what I mean? I don't know, exercise. I don't know what kinds of things you like around that.
Yeah, I do, and I have to leave to go pick up the 15-year-old. But like my son's about to throw a fit right now, because that stress starts to wear me out.
Yeah,
it just wears me out, and that's a lot of times that's why my day ones don't last, because I feel frazzled, and I've done so much wiring for over 20 years. I've done this, so the anxiety skyrockets as soon as I stop. So then it feels almost like a physical dependence. So if I can get through that, then there's still the mental and the coping. And so, I get anxiety just thinking about it. So I got to get upstairs. I got to get him going, try to have him not flip out and try to appease. I feel like I'm doing a lot of appeasing around here, so people are not upset. But it's easier to get a kid who's not upset in a car seat, period. So that I take the easier route. I do. And I need to work on the longer term, discipline, discipline. Yeah.
Kids, it's tough with young kids, isn't it? I mean, I've got a 5-year-old girl, and that's always been tough. But I must say, for me, stopping drinking, it's still the same, but that's so much easier to deal with. It's not really a problem. It just is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. When I was drinking, it was just another reason to feel shit about myself, because I wanted to stop it, but I couldn't stop it. But when I just said, right, that's it, I've stopped, and I understand everybody's process is different, but I just felt so much clearer, and I've said it before, everything stayed the same but was so much different. Everything around me is the same. Life shit goes on and people get ill and etc. But it was easier to deal with. Everything's just so much easier to deal with.
Yeah, totally. I just need to get out of that trap. I'm well aware that everything will get so much easier. I just need to get out of it and not forget it.
Yeah.
And this is like my hardest time of year to do this.
Yeah.
Fall, I'll just say pumpkin beer. I'm just going to stop there. And no, they don't make an NA one around here because I've called every damn liquor store for an NA pumpkin beer. It's too much to ask. Because sometimes it won't even be the alcohol. It will be the relation to some drink that reminds me of a certain thing that I want. And then when I can't get it, I feel like I'm, I can't think of the word. Like I'm not getting what I want.
Yeah. Okay. So once you've made your mind up, yeah. I think Tone, you put something the other week about associations, didn't you?
Yeah, that sun. It was the other day. It was just simply about. Just had a thought about going away to a hot climate, and instantly, because somebody, I don't know where it was, but anyways, the thought was about going away to a warm climate, and instantly that warm climate, for whatever reason, then beer came into my mind. You know, beer and relaxing, and it's an instant thought. Now, I wasn't triggered to drink because I wasn't in the warm climate, but it was just this instant feeling of beer, sun, wonderful. It's funny how they're so ingrained, but they're not going to go away in a couple of months, are they? They're not going to go away in even a couple of years.
Yeah.
If you've had these thoughts and associations for 20, 30 years, then they're going to be there, and you've got to work with them, and hopefully they don't shout as loud.
Yeah, and I think that going through a year not drinking through every season, so you're experiencing Halloween, Christmas, holidays, Easter, all of them things where everybody's birthday, you associate everything with drinking, and then once you've done them without drinking, you've experienced them, and you know actually that it doesn't really add a great deal. You can start to enjoy them without it.
I think you're right. It's forming new associations, isn't it?
Yeah.
So and I went on holiday with my wife this year. We went up to Scotland, and I didn't drink for 2 weeks. You know, and I didn't need to. And I've never done that ever. You know, but when I came back, I did have a few drinks. I went a bit mad, as it were. You know, and I've not been perfect since. Although I've now struck up, I think I'm on the 9th or 10th day tomorrow. You know. And I feel so much better for it, and I feel good about it, and I've made some deeper commitments, because every time I fall off the wagon, when I get back on, I feel I don't always feel stronger, but this time I do feel stronger.
Yeah. And that seems like it's getting stronger all the time for you.
I think so, because I'm getting more and more pissed off with it. That's why I'm getting more and more disillusioned with not achieving anything, and feeling I can associate with what Susan was saying quite a lot with you know, almost getting bored of being bored, you know, at times, and that not having the enthusiasm to do things, especially late afternoon evenings. I've got, you know, the most interesting thing in the world to do can sometimes be the most, I just can't be able to do it, you know. In the mornings, I'm absolutely fine. I'm on fire pretty much every morning, you know. I don't often suffer with any morning boredom or anything. I'm just up and running. I think it's sometimes if I haven't ticked boxes throughout the day, if I've ticked boxes throughout the day a little bit, then my evenings will probably go a bit smoother as well. I like to tick boxes. I don't get out of bed unless I've done a mind map plan. I actually do schedule quite a lot. But
I have to go, you guys.
Okay.
Bye. So
okay,
good meeting you guys.
Yeah, we'll hopefully catch up again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Take care, you guys.
See you.
Because I don't know how to turn this off. I'm going to try. Can you just cut me off? Oh, here we go. Leave meeting. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya. Bye.
Still there?
I thought she was going to leave it running and we're going to see a screaming kid run by. So yeah. I think that association thing which she brought up there with, like, there's never, for me, there was never going to be a good time to stop drinking. You know what I mean? It was always, this is coming up and that's coming up, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to have to do it, and I did it shortly before a 2-week holiday, and it was fine. It was fine. I just did stuff what I would normally do, and yeah, it was good. It was good, and I enjoy holidays a whole lot more now. I must say, which does seem a really like frightening thought when you're a drinker. But that the story he uses in one of the books where two guys go on holiday together to an island. Is that in one of the Alan Carr or the Alcohol Explained book? Where he says
I have read the Alan Carr one. Go on.
Yeah, so two guys decide they're going to go on holiday. And then when they arrive at the island, they tell them that there's no alcohol on the island. And they were both really excited before they get there. So how do you think both the people feel? So how does the guy who doesn't drink feel, do you think? Now he gets there and finds there's no alcohol.
It's fine.
Not bothered.
Not bothered, no. Yeah. And the guy who can't drink, how do you think he feels?
Oh.
It's not his holiday. This is the funny thing though, isn't it? Because we're so, I mean, whenever we think of holidays, I mean, as either trying to give up or given up like you, John, the association of holiday is getting drunk. Holiday is, and it's not all day necessarily, but it's certainly a big part of your holidays. You've got pissed or certainly merry every evening, didn't you? Well, I certainly did. And when and if I'm away with the lads, probably pissed up from midday, you know. So and that's what holidays are about, and that is this very, very strong association. To break that is difficult, which is.
And it's not just the association there, though, is it? It's because we're actually addicted to alcohol. We're addicted to alcohol, but we don't admit it to ourselves. And then when we go on holiday, that is actually when you look under the skin of it, we must be addicted to it because we do it at every opportunity because we can when we're on holiday.
But if you think about it as well, where we go on holiday, we go to a hotel hotel's got a bar, you know, and they want you to buy from the bar. So they're going to, you restaurants, you're on holiday, they've got the wine, you know, they've got everywhere. Where are you going to go on holiday where you haven't got any alcohol? It's so difficult.
Yeah. Well, I first thing I did when I got to Croatia was, can you drink the Croatian tap water? And then I just asked for tap water everywhere. They hate me. But and then I read when I got home that one of the rivers had been contaminated and they advised not drinking the water.
Oh no!
In Dubrovnik, and I was ill when I got back as well. So but. Yeah, I'm quite happy. I mean, I used alcohol-free beers, especially in the sun and with that association at first. But you soon get over that and realise that actually there's far better tasting things than that crap. Yeah, I mean, I
still like it. I really do. I mean, I'm drinking it now, and it's. I really love it. This is I get it from Morrison's. It's,
right? Because the ones I've tried are not very good. I don't like any of them.
If you have it freezing cold, it's good.
Yeah.
Especially on a hot day. It's not a hot day today, but for me at the moment, it's doing a job.
Yeah.
And I actually had an alcohol-free gin and tonic last night, which was a bit of a treat. It was one of these. I can't remember. I think it's
Seedlip. Yeah. I bought a couple of bottles. It's as expensive as gin, isn't it?
Really expensive.
Yeah, but I don't call it an alcoholic gin or no alcoholic spirit. I just think it's a nice soft drink and
it's lovely.
And almost kind of the people say about the ritual of making a gin and tonic and stuff like that, and having a nice glass. And for me, I don't see the problem in having a jazzy drink, if you know what I mean. Like why because I don't drink am I not allowed something what's a bit, I mean, mocktails I can't even do because it's just always full of these syrups which are bloody so sweet. But
I think treating yourself is very good, and you sometimes treating yourself with, you know, when you're not treating yourself with alcohol, although you're not treating yourself with alcohol, but you need to treat yourself with something else, don't you? You know, whatever it is, as long as it's not alcohol, then it's got to work.
Yeah, but I have found since I stopped drinking that I'm more conscious about what I do put in my body, and I have been a lot more healthy. around that. And I've always been a big water drinker anyway, so I love water. So me having a jazzy drink is putting ice and lemon in a glass of water. Do you know what I mean? In a nice glass.
What? No umbrella or no sparkler?
I need to get some, and a slice of pineapple or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do that. But for me, it's just water and tea, really. I've even stopped drinking Coke. I used to have the occasional Coke to pick me up if I was feeling it. But that, again, that'd be like one a month. You know what I mean? But I'm also a bit paranoid about stuff like that. I don't like it when I have something what I know is bad for me. I'm a bit funny like that.
But you're quite sensitive to caffeine, though, aren't you, and stuff? So
yeah, I've actually stopped drinking coffee because of that. Yeah, but I'm such a sensitive soul. But I always have been, and I was the same with alcohol. And I should have stopped years and years ago, and I kick myself now for not doing. But it is what it is, isn't it?
John, how old are you?
42.
Well, I'm 52, and I wish I was stopped 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I'm nearly 53, and I've probably drunk a bottle of wine a night. I want to say something like 20 years, probably. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
I've pretty much the same. It's and well, you know, I'd love to have just been able to have the one or two beers, but as soon as the one beer happens, yeah, okay, I'll have two beers if I'm driving, get back home, and I finish the job. You know, and that job isn't necessarily getting paralytic or anything, but it would be getting to a point of 6 or 7 pints of beer, that sort of level, that bottle and a half, perhaps 2 bottles of wine, that sort of level, you know. Not 3 bottles would be absolutely paralytic, do you know what I mean? But that wasn't necessarily every night. That would have been about 3 times a week. So 3 times too often.
Yeah. But it sounds like both of you, I mean, as your own process is going on, and Tone, like we said earlier, that and you said yourself, you feel stronger each time you take this fall, and then you build yourself back up in it, and then you know where you've gone wrong, and you're recognising all that, and you're working on the associations, and some of them you can just pass off as, oh yeah, that it's just that little memory what comes in your mind, isn't it? I mean, I still get that now because there's experiences that I'm yet to do being alcohol free, where certain dynamics of friends I find maybe a problem, but but seeing all my mates in Croatia at the wedding was enough for me to stop drinking all my life. Oh, it was disgusting. Horrendous. Drinking from getting up in the morning, and we're meeting for a wedding, and you just think, why? But I would have been that person as well, to be honest. So
would I. And you know, I can't say so would I. I was in Chicago, wasn't I, a week and a half ago? So, and I told you about that. So, and I did drink in Chicago. I was with my mates, but I was different. I was different. I was whereas there were 6 of us, and whereby I would have been the one with the most alcohol consumption. I was actually the one with the second least alcohol consumption. And things had changed. I was on the cokes during the day. They were in the bar watching some football, and I was just on a number of occasions just having the coke. You get cheap refills anyway, but I didn't want to drink, you know. And I found a lot of arguments going on in my head, you know, because part of me enjoyed it, and another part of me was really not wanting to be in that place, in that zone. Weird.
Yeah. So how are we feeling about maybe doing something going forward then, Susan? Like,
oh, definitely. Yeah. If I'll message you so you can send me that pleasure predictor, whatever. And it'd be great to do some work. Thank you. Yeah, I think you'll be there. I need it. I really need it.
Yeah. We can have a chat and see where we go from there then. Okay, so I'm going to have to go now. It's almost 9:30.
Oh gosh. Right.
So
okay.
It's been great speaking to you anyway. And cheers for coming in, Tony and Susan. That's been brilliant. Thank you.
Ta-da.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.